Good morning. I want to talk to you today about low back. This is probably the one area that I haven't addressed yet, and this is the day. Today is the day for low backs. It's very common to wake up with a low grade or a middle grade low back stiffness or even pain first thing in the morning. Lots of reasons why it might be worse in the morning. Not necessarily to do with anything pathological that you need to worry about in particular, but and I certainly wouldn't reach out for painkillers or call my GP asking for an MRI. However, just like any other health promoting practice, dedicating some time to some back hygiene is probably one of the most important things we can do, not only as we age, but especially as we age. So today is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to combine a few modalities that I found really helpful for myself. So there will be a little bit of joint mobilization techniques, which are different from stretching, but I will show you some active isolated stretching, and just freestyling it a little bit to suit my own body. So I'd encourage you to freestyle anything I'm showing you to suit your own body. For me, making things easily accessible is one of the most important preconditions to compliance. So if I have to do something in the middle of the day, interrupt my flow, I will probably not do it, to be perfectly honest. I am just as non-compliant as anyone else out there. So I have come up with this routine for us to do first thing in the morning. I do it in bed. I don't even get out of bed. Just roll over on my back and get going. So let's do it. So you're on your back in bed, and you're going to bring your knee up towards your armpit. Breathing out, gently pull the knee towards the armpit and release. Breathe in, knee to armpit, gentle pull for 2 seconds and release. Okay, I'm using my abdominal muscles, my hip flexors, bringing that knee up for 2 seconds and come back. Synchronize with an out breath here and breathe in the starting position. Okay, now I'm going to now straighten my other leg because I feel that maybe this is just as comfortable. Yeah, it's not too bad, but there is no reason to have the leg straight or bent other than your own preference and comfort. Okay, so the other side. Maybe start with doing 4 or 5 movements with a bent non-exercising leg, followed by 4 or 5 with a straight non-exercising leg. This is using your abdominal muscles, contracting them, so you're getting a little bit of a workout there, but really what it's doing is reciprocally inhibiting, releasing the low back muscles, which are gently lengthening, and your lumbar spine is flexing at this point gently and releasing. It's a very, very gentle mobilization exercise, which is good for everyone of every age. I would recommend it to my grandparents if I had them. Sadly, I don't. But listen to your own body. Don't do anything that pushes it too far. Both legs together, knees down to their own respective armpits, and a gentle pull. Now, this does require a little bit of abdominal control. If you find yourself arching your low back at this point, well, don't. Revert to the single leg exercise. But if you can control your abdominal muscles, bring the knees in. Oh, this is so nice. And release to the starting position. Note what's happening. Be aware. It's okay, your pelvis will slightly leave the ground. However, if you're doing it in bed, you most likely sink into the mattress. And that's fine. Okay, it's not as effective as doing it on a mat, but it's better than no movement whatsoever. So do it in bed, I say. Now, I'm aiming for 8 to 10 of all of those 3 exercises. And I think that's probably 10 now. Okay, now move over to all fours in your bed, still remember. This is a movement that a lot of you will be familiar with, perhaps through yoga. It's called the cat-cow. And I just want to show you one thing here. We're going to revise the cat-cow, and then we're going to expand the cat-cow. You want your wrists underneath your shoulders. And something to be aware of here, which my colleague Pavel was very clever to point out. You want to screw the arms into the armpits. You don't want them hanging out there somewhere. You want them in. So it's kind of like a rotation of the shoulders in. Your knees will be under your hips. Okay, so in this, otherwise known as tabletop position, you're going to start with your cat-cow movement. You're going to pull the belly button in, push the back up towards the ceiling, drop the head down, push between the shoulder blades and reverse. Dropping the low back, trying to bring the movement all the way up to between your shoulder blades. I find it hard up there. My upper thoracic spine, like most other people's, is not as mobile. But we can only do our best. I would also be quite gentle with the neck. So in this position, great, let it hang. The weight of your head is a nice stretching tool. But as you reverse, don't go cooking your head right back up. Keep it fairly neutral. Good. Breathing out as you push your belly button in. And breathing in as you expand through the chest and drop through your spine. Lovely. Now this is a flexion extension movement of the spine. Now let's do some side bending. So yeah. Here I'm basically sliding my hips to one side, keeping my arms firmly on the ground or mattress. I'm trying to take a look behind me, gently, maybe aiming to have a look at your foot on the same side, or the foot on the opposite side. So this is side bending left to right, and it's lovely. Okay. Now another movement of the spine is rotation. We use it all the time. So a couple of ways of doing this. You can do it from a tabletop position. You're going to put your hands on your shoulder and then drop that shoulder down somewhere more towards the opposite side and then come up. Okay, this requires quite a bit of coordination and upper body strength, and by now your shoulders might be a little bit tired. So what I would recommend is sitting on your heels. Now if that's not available, which is quite probable, I'm going to get a pillow. I'm going to get as many pillows as I need and stack them on my heels, or you might be like this, that's fine, we're not going to be here forever. Enough for you to feel comfortable in this position. If this isn't comfortable, go back to tabletop. I'm going to sit, I quite like it. Hand on the shoulder. There's a lot less pressure on that side now, and you're going to drop your elbow towards the opposite knee, and you're going to push yourself up to create a little bit of rotation through your spine. It's really nice. It's really gentle. Start with as little movement as you think your spine is capable of, and maybe as you increase your repetitions, you can rotate further. The hand on the floor is the one that gives you the leverage. Use it. Lovely. And we're going to swap sides. Left hand on left shoulder, drop the elbow down to the right knee and rotate. I'm going to start really conservatively. This is first thing in the morning. Remember, I've not even had my coffee yet. So start slowly and explore how far you feel that you can go. It's going to feel very different when you do this in the evening. You might find that you've got a lot more range. We are all a little bit stiff in the mornings, more so than in the afternoon. Okay, lovely. I absolutely love this rotational movement. So good for you. Okay, so we've kind of gone through the flexion, extension, side bending, rotation of the spine. Why don't we just combine it all and find a kind of composite, free-flowing, freestyle motion that only you can tell where your body wants it, where your body needs a little bit more of an opening. Maybe it's in side bending. Maybe you can do side bending and rotation at the same time. So I encourage you to be creative with all of this. Maybe you want to be going backwards and forwards for a while. This can get your hips moving as well. What's wrong with that? Your shoulders. Movement in everyday life happens in every single plane of motion, and most often a combination of them. So explore the body and what it wants to do. First thing in the morning, be gentle. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to go off and have a cup of coffee, and a lovely Sunday to you all. Bye.